I took a group up to Boston this weekend. It's really one of the fastest tracks in the nation. There were, I think, 10 people that broke 4 minutes in the mile this weekend there, and one of our guys, Baptiste Moreau, he ran 4:06 in the mile and broke Joseph Kamei's record from 1977, which is just a really fun thing to watch. He just got in the race and was in the moment, and it was just a lot of fun to watch. Really good atmosphere. And Maria, she broke the women's record in the mile for she ran 5 minutes flat, and it was just a really good weekend all around. Libby Strickland went to Central Missouri. She hit the provisional mark for the pentathlon. I think she's going to take her a little more to get in the national championship, but she had a good weekend, and then our 4x4 broke the indoor score record in Albuquerque. So we're coming into form about the right time, 3 weeks from conference. So I feel good about things.
Talk about the experience just to head to a place like Boston. It's a pretty good deal for you.
It's the best atmosphere in indoor track and field that I've ever been around. You have over 1,000 people in an indoor facility. They're all packed in around the track, and they're clapping, they're yelling. It's just an incredible atmosphere. There's professional athletes there, Division I, Division II, and people just competing at the highest level, and it was a lot of fun. Great experience for those kids.
Yes, sir.
Second time y'all rolled these guys up, was it just kind of was it nice to go take that far of a road trip and be able to pick up a win away from home?
Well, no question. Anytime you pick up a road win in this league, that's a big win. That's one of the toughest places to play in the league, not only because of the trip, but because Kingsville is such a good team, and Coach Peterson does, phenomenal job with his basketball team. So it was a very big win for us to go down there and pick it up. But we still got a long ways to go. I didn't think we've had the best of first halves down there. We started off pretty sluggish, got ourselves in a little bit of a hole, but we held them scoreless for the last 6 minutes and 15 seconds of that first half, and I was really impressed with the defensive intensity that we picked up there towards the end of the first half, and it carried over to the next half. So I was really pleased seeing that out of this team.
Talk about being able to finish a game. You guys have been in a lot of these games, and this time able to close this out.
Well, we tried to give this one away too, so that was a little bit discouraging. But no, we hit some big free throws. Tez and David Gibbs both went 2 for 2 from the line, each down the stretch, which was good to see, because obviously that's been one of our biggest Achilles heels this year, is hitting free throws down the stretch. So they did a good job for us, and Antoine Ball got some phenomenal rebounds down the stretch where guys were just hanging off of him, and he came up with them. So we made some big plays down the stretch, and I think this team is starting to see some of the things they need to do to close out some of these games.
David Duncan's played back-to-back 40-minute games, big minutes for you, haven't been at rest. Can you talk on his play here the last 2 games?
He's done exactly what we've asked him to do, which has been really good to see. He's played extremely hard. Every time I ask him if he needs, a break, he tells me no, he's fine, and so I'm going to keep riding with him until something else changes, foul trouble, or him saying he needs a break. So he's been doing a great job. I thought he did a tremendous job on the glass for us, stepped up and picked up 6 or 7 big defensive rebounds for us in that game. So his play is starting to improve every single game now from what it looks like, and I hope he can keep going in that direction.
Got Midwestern coming up, obviously one of the best teams in the conference, and at their place. Can you talk on this
Yeah,
matchup?
No question. They're probably the hottest team in the league right now. They're the only team that's beat Tarleton this year, and they went down to Stephenville and beat them in what was just a phenomenal game. I watched that game on the long bus ride home from Kingsville, and Midwestern is very talented, some of the best guards in the league, and obviously always one of the best rebounding teams in the league. And that place is again, just like every place in the league, it's one of the hardest places to play. Student section will be crazy down there like it always is, and they're just a really good team. I thought we had a great game plan when we played them the first time. We were a little bit shorthanded with bodies, but that's not an excuse this time, and we got 2 good days, hopefully, of practice that we can use to prep as we go down there and get ready to compete against them.
Do you feel good considering you guys did play them so close last time?
I don't know if good is necessarily the word. I mean, I think it's good to see with a new group of guys that they can play with anybody in this league. So if something we can take out of it was that. So, I don't think we're going down there thinking we're a big underdog by any means, but we know that it's going to be a very competitive game, and we're going to have to play our best to have a chance to be successful down there. So, I'll take that away from it a little bit is that we did show we can play with them, so that's a very big positive out of the first game.
There's a bunch of teams packed at the bottom of the conference standings, where you have a chance to make a move still,
right,
and get a pretty decent seed. And tournament. Have you talked to the guys about that, or just moving
Yeah,
ahead?
we started doing it before this last game against Kingsville. We put all the standings on a board in the locker room and talked about how one game, and we're taking it a game at a time, about how one game can move you up a seed or two at a time. So every game is important from here on out, and that's what we're going to look to do, is take it one game at a time and hopefully pick a few up as this thing closes out and improve our seeding as we get ready for the conference tournament now.
It's something we hadn't seen in a few games, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, we were down 11-0. I mean, it was like 18:01 on the clock, I think. We were down 11 points, hadn't scored, completely out of rhythm, out of sync. So, maybe it'll be good for us. I hope it challenged us. It brought something new to the table that we hadn't seen in a while. We had been jumping all over these teams. And so, we had to play from behind. We had to weather the storm is kind of the analogy we use. It's just kind of weather it. They played with a lot of emotion early. And we settled in and got the lead. I think we went on like a 17-2 run right behind it. So we did a good job.
Not playing your best, talk about getting the win when maybe, I guess, you didn't have your best effort at the end.
Well, no, we did not. I mean, there's no doubt we were not at our best. Defensively, I didn't think we were very good at all, to be completely honest. And we've got to do some work there. But if you're going to win on the road and in conference, you're going to have to grind out. You're not going to shoot it well all the time. You've got to find other ways to win. Usually that's rebounding and defense, and we didn't do necessarily either one of those probably as well as we need to. So those are areas we got to clean up before Wednesday.
It sounds like we're beating the same drum, but do you feel like Devin and Casey's performance kind of helped y'all overcome that 11-point deficit early?
Yeah, I mean it did. Casey, wasn't very good early in the game, and I pulled her out pretty quick because she missed some rebound assignments, and then she went back in and kind of got going. When we play unselfish, I think we're a pretty good offensive basketball team. When we get a little selfish and the ball stops moving, I think is when we're probably not at our best. And then defensively, we just need to fly around and continue to find ways to motivate them, I think, at times, which shouldn't be hard from here on out. But, I mean, we struggled with that, haven't had a lot of great opportunities to practice over the last week and get better from practice. So now we'll get back at that today and be prepared.
Is rebounding one of the things you focus on most right now?
Well, I mean, a little bit, and we practice it. We talk about it a lot, probably more than we practice it. And I mean, our rebounding statistics show that we're okay. I just watch us on film, and we're just not nearly as good as we think we are. And the concern will be when we face some of these better rebounding teams, and you're on the road in tough environments. We've got to limit people to one possession and one shot, and we're going to get in trouble if we don't.
What do you know about Midwestern State at this point, and what you expect them to bring into Wednesday's game?
Well, I mean, I think this will be the toughest road game we've had probably since before Christmas, the Seattle trip. They've won 4 out of 5. Their one loss was to Tarleton, I believe, in overtime, a week or so ago. So, I mean, they're playing well. They look a lot better than they did the first time we played them. Hopefully we're a little bit better, too, than the first time we played after that long break. But, I think the environment will be great. I think the crowd will be good. I think we'll get tested. We'll get all we want and probably more on Wednesday.
Now, it looks like this is one of the toughest portions of your schedule. How crucial is this next couple of weeks here as you head into the final stretch of the season?
No, I think it's huge. I mean, we're not going to talk about it necessarily with our team, but the next 3 games probably will let us know a lot about ourselves. Not that the ones behind it don't matter, because they certainly do, but we'll be back at home and then get a little break even before we go to Eastern New Mexico. So I think this 3-game stretch right here with the one at Midwestern and Tarleton probably, it's not going to define our season by any means, but it's certainly going to let us know if we're maybe ready to take that next step.
And then played 2 close games on Sunday. Just kind of break it down for us.
Yeah, all 3 games were really close. They're all one-run games. I thought we played okay at times, and at other times we didn't play very well defensively. The first day, we did okay offensively executing. We still got a long way to go, and we know that early in the season we're going to be a little bit behind offensively. The second day was just one of those days we were trying to grind it out. It was a tough day for both teams. Tough weather. I mean, I think it was 25 degrees, so both teams had to play in it, and they made plays and we didn't.
What do you see? Sounds like the pitching staff did pretty well. All those one-run games were pretty low scoring.
Yeah, I thought our pitching, our starters did an outstanding job. They went deep into games, and it was a lot easier to pitch in than it was to hit in that weather that we faced, especially day 2. Our bullpen was what I was most impressed with. Our bullpen did an outstanding job. Steven Diaz, Justin Dispro, PJ Lujan, now he gave up the home run, but honestly we probably shouldn't have reined back out there for that last inning. So all in all, I thought our pitchers did an outstanding job. Defensively, we needed to clean some stuff up in the one game that we had 5 errors, and things just kind of bottled up on us a little bit in that game.
At McMurray this weekend, is that correct?
At McMurray this weekend, Friday, Saturday, we've got a midweek game tomorrow against Southwestern Oklahoma, a big in-region game. I think they're undefeated right now and playing well, and they were a really good team last year, so it's going to be a tough test. tomorrow, especially it'll test our pitching a little bit more, and then we'll get back on the road for more in-region games against McMurray.
Is that a home opener tomorrow?
Home opener, yes. Yeah.
You gonna play regardless of weather?
There's
Sure.
a chance of maybe moving it to Wednesday, but I would say if it's mid-40s and tomorrow, then we'll play in it. That's a lot better than what we played in yesterday.